Something is not right, Jamaica. Something is not right. Melissa is just the cover up of something major danger. It been said that a legendary creature has been woken, and the US government found out, and their next move is nuclear bombing this creature. It has been said that Jamaica, the island, is at the head of this serpent. The serpent is in the deep depths of the ocean, and it can be the doom of us all. No guns, no nothing can kill this creature that man made. Only God alone can put this creature to eternal rest. This creature been sleeping under the depths of the ocean for many years now, before even the continents and islands was actually made on the world map. So the continent and the islands are actually made on most of Leviathan's body. We Jamaican is on the head of this creature, and they're planning to sacrifice the 8 million people in Jamaica so they can live to tell the tale. Do you notice every day 5 to 6 helicopters above high of ground in the sky patrolling Jamaica, because they're looking for any sudden movement and sudden changes, because Leviathan does exist and it's real. People, it's a doomsday. It's a doomsday for us all if this creature is actually awakened. May God help us all.
Hi guys, welcome back once again to YouTube channel. I really hope you're doing fine wherever you are, and I humbly request, if it is for the first time you come across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your time. Be blessed whenever you are. Okay guys, in today's clip we want to talk about what if the disaster we are seeing in Jamaica are more than just natural events, hurricanes, earthquakes, flooding, coincidence, or something deeper awakening beneath the waters. For centuries, ancient texts have warned about a creature known as Levithian, and now some are asking, why is everything happening at once? Is this just nature, or are we witnessing what the Bible describes thousands of years ago? Kindly, I just want you to watch this clip till the end, and then I'll be back with more comments.
The Leviathan. So why the interest in the Leviathan is no. In my opinion, the Leviathan, and I speak about it all the time, the Leviathan represents the feminine chaos, because she's waking, right? You know, she's waking up. All right. I work in the spirit realm. And spiritually, we are waking up. Spiritually, we are the children of the Leviathan is us. Levi genes. This is no coincidence. I did a live about this couple of weeks ago. Levi, Levi genes. It's not the actual genes, but the genetics. So if you are genetically connected to the Levi, you are Levi genes. So we are the Levi genes, are the Levi DNA. So Levi DNA, right? So when we wake up and we arise, we are rising. We are rising. The children of the great mother is rising. I know that for a fact. So that's why maybe she now is the target in the physical, because in the spiritual, our children is rising. That's the only way we can put it. her children is rising, so she's going to rise automatically. But to me, it's not a physical thing too. It's more spiritual and physical. Levi genes, Levi genetics, Levi DNA. So the great mother have to rise and her children will rise. So she will cause some problem in the seas. The water is troubled. Thank you, beautiful. The water is troubled. Right? So if you say the oil come from the Levi, that means oil was already always there anyway, because if she was always there, the oil was always there. So why now we say she awake? Well, I'm not going to dispute what you say, but me can tell you say, in the physical, I am not seeing it as any physical being. I can tell you that right now. I'm not get no go ahead in the spirit realm to come tell you say it's physical. I'm not going to spread propaganda and fake news. Thank you for the follow and thank you so much, right? I don't see it in the physical as a real beast. And if you see it as that, I'm not going to take away your concept. But I see spiritual, and spiritually she's rising because we are rising spiritually. Black woman and child, the mother is rising, the pit them are going to rise as well. So our oil, our Christ oil, is the same oil that they are drilling. Right? The same oil, because everything have a spiritual and a physical side to it. So there's me on the spiritual side. The oil that they are drilling is the oil that is rising in us. They are trying to distract us from our Christ oil being risen. Right? As within, so without. As within, so outside. So our oil is rising. Our Christ oil, our Christos oil is rising in the Caribbean right now. And also, remember that Jamaica is a special place. Jamaica is a special place in the Caribbean. And the torch was passed. I speak about this all the time. The torch for the true Israelites, the baton was passed. We are the true Israelites. We are the true Israelites. That's why I don't think them are going to bomb Jamaica. Like how them bomb Venezuela. And then bomb up a boat in Trinidad. I don't think we're going to get any kind of violence like that. Our violence is a fake storm. Right? And they wanted us to manifest the fake storm. And make it bigger than how it is. Our target, what target us was the storm? Melissa. Melissa was our target. Melissa was sent to destroy us. But because we don't take nothing serious, we kind of quench it out back. Because we never was in fear. Right? So the storm, to me, it looked like it kind of quenched down some way, somehow. Right? Because we never buy into the fact that, we never buy into the fear mongering.
Jamaica is 70% limestone. That is a fact. 70 means 7. In alphanumeric, it means perfection. The perfect limestone body. Limestone was once living. That is a fact also. Jamaica's spirit is the spirit of the Leviathan. So Jamaica is sitting on one huge Leviathan. Limestone. So if Jamaica is not the Leviathan, it is a huge beast. But we have gotten the clues from the emblems, from the Tainos, from centuries of knowledge that Jamaica is actually the Leviathan, or another huge creature. That is actually a fact also because of the limestone. They have been mining limestone for centuries, thousands of years, taking away the limestone from Jamaica. But limestone is on a late frequency, not a quick frequency. So it vibrates a lot slower. But sometimes you will feel earthquakes. But what if the spirit of the Leviathan suddenly woken up? That would be trouble, because Egypt don't have any limestone of its own. The limestone, strangely, in Egypt, that makes all the pyramids have the same signature as our Leviathan, the same markings. And the limestone for the temples weren't mined in Africa. They were mined from another land. But why do they have the symbols, the hieroglyphics of our limestones, of our Leviathan? So, if the Leviathan was supposed to suddenly come to life again, would it take back all of its limestone? And would the pyramids have to suddenly start to fly back to Jamaica to make up back the Leviathan? So be careful of the limestones that you are mining from Jamaica, because when the Leviathan wakes up again, it will go for all of its parts. Just a little food for thought.
I want to give all you a little hidden information on what's going on with these war and these vibes. And they say, we are wrestle not amongst flesh and blood, but high principality, powers and rulers. That alone should let all you know that we are just the actors, and the people behind there, they are the one who control. But what I want to tell all you and give all the hidden news, you see Port Royal in Jamaica? What happened to Port Royal? Now what happened? You see Melissa the Storm, she have a brain, the Storm thinking, that is where the dragon head is. That is where Leviathan day. 12 disciples, it had 13 dragon. So and that is the mother dragon. Some people say in myths that we are in a dragon belly. So these things, the dragon with the ice, it's at to wake up. Because when all whatever I think happen and the bacchanal and thing, God had was said, I sure and believe that if I take away all spiritual book and take away from Bible, go back, I in my heart know that history and the evidence could written that it had a big flood. The flood was to do certain things. So that dragon by Venezuela, by Guyana, Trinidad, and in the head is in Guyana. Not Guyana, sorry, the head is in Jamaica. Go up and check it out. The head with the nostril. When they say the amount of energies and frequency that the dragon start to wake up and it start to swallow, the frequency, he start to fully belly. And with the fully in the belly with the frequency and the energy to open up people's mind for it to come out. When somebody was asleep and they get up, the first thing they go do, they go want to eat. And when they don't eat, they go fat, they go in the toilet. So the dragon let go out the gas. Let go it out from the front, let go it out from the back. It's more storm and it's more thing coming. I want to tell you that spiritually, these are the things that happening. You see this earth? Earth is a living mother. Earth is a living mother. The oil, the black oil, we coming up from Venezuela, right down with the dragon living down inside, they drilling up the dragon. And I had to wake up. We think they're having all them bomb to go down in the sea and blow and all them thing. Them afraid what they see. They afraid to the world. All this one thing is petty thing towards if this dragon wake up, we're going to see the angels. Let me tell you something. All of us know watch a butcher killing an animal, killing a hog. I'm sorry to say it, we all live to eat. But I tell you another word, my mind, and when I watch certain things and I see them hog crying and the man sharp the blade tack and chop it up and eat up the chicken and eat up the pork and jumping up and dancing and drinking rum. Some people go dance and drink rum and eating the meat. All you think the name with the highest in the highest human being high in the chain, like animal come and eat and then come down, but human being is the highest. All you believe it as somebody higher than we? That one day to come, they're going to hold we skull like the alien them and bust it out and hold it in the air and ball when they bust up we skull. Now when I say in the alien and them pull out we from the back of we bone like the spine and drag it out with we skull and throw it out in the air and ball, so them thing was in movies and documentary. You realize Lot wife turned into a pillar salt? What about the petrifies and them petrified snake, petrified giant? I will show you in some petty messages we're talking about here. And I want to talk about the big stone with the snake, all them thing we're turning, all them thing is years and cursed, they say. And whatever it is after a while, them thing going and turn. They say, they wanted that the angel would devour the flesh of man, all I don't know. It's like the movie. So think what I'm telling all you. all the plane disappear and all these things happening when they pull it in the Bermuda Triangle and all these kind of things were going missing and this and that. All them things is hidden things where when men flying inside and they see certain things they can't come back out. When you're going to that world and that different thing and that different frequency, you could just have to melt away and go. If you were carrying a powerful enough frequency, or forget everything and put you back on the earth, or you dead and gone. They all you're feeling that when the Bible say 1/3 of the angel going to come down and devour the flesh of man. So all you think why telling all you the same way how we eating up and doing up all the animals and we in the power chain, it has some things coming. They could be higher than we. And we could be coming like dog and insect and animal towards them. All remember I tell all of that. I was only holding back on these things. But you see the dragon awake. And the beasts have to get wounded. Everybody. I understand Trinidad and Tobago and I understand all who locked on to USA because USA is the one that supplied to everybody from the Bible. The beast supply the world live through the beast. But when the beast get a wound, I don't know if it's spiritual blackout or some kind of thing going on happen and the beast get the wound, which is the money. Where they go raise the gold and the US dollar go drop or whatever. Because when you look at the amount in America and you look the amount in all the rest of the world, they ratio them over. So Trinidad and Tobago spread this video, and I not come to pick up for nobody. I don't want to hear about nothing but I ain't picking up for nobody. We wrestle not among flesh and blood, high principality powers and rulers. Voice of Wakaman here. Take it.
Jamaica, the message of life and death. So you better listen carefully. The Jamaican government has once again sold us all out, but this time it is our life they are playing with. They have signed contracts with foreign oil companies to start deep sea oil drilling off our.
I want to know if you go back and watch the Empress video. I'll tag her in this video, but make me sure know what she talk about. This are the Pedro Bank which I talk about, where they're right off of the south coast of Jamaica. Now, on the south coast of Jamaica, there is all of the parishes that grow the most food in Jamaica. So we would be affected, meaning the food of Jamaica would be affected. Now, the Pedro Bank is sitting on a major fault line. Let me show you the fault line. This is the tectonic fault line we run from Jamaica all the way to Haiti. This is the same fault line that caused the 2010 earthquake in Haiti and killed over 200,000 people. These are the fault line where them want go dig and drill. And anyhow them dig and drill this fault line, this is going to cause major earthquakes. Not only will this cause major earthquakes all over the Caribbean, but there are two active volcanoes sitting underneath the south coast of Jamaica, and it runs right on the fault line. Anyhow, them start to drill. What's going to trigger is tsunamis and earthquakes, major earthquakes that is going to affect the whole entire Caribbean. Us as Caribbean people, Jamaicans, and all of the Caribbean people, please, we need to make sure we stop these people. From the fisherman them to everybody in the community. I don't care what you have to do. Please, we have to get up and make sure that them do not drill off of the coast of Jamaica. Cause any of them do it, we cook dog, we goose cook with salt. And we now go see the Caribbean go down in a hole because them want to get oil. Left the bumbo clot oil.
2 years ago, I made a video showing how it looks like South America used to connect to Antarctica and how it looks like something may have busted through there. I think it's about time we revisit this topic. Now, let me start off by saying, how much can we trust these maps, especially when this one we're looking at is a globe? Now, keeping that in mind, I want to show you the 1587 Montes map. It's a real map, and you can see this would be America, this would be South America. And it appears they once used to connect just 500 years ago. Now, you might not know this yet, but I've made 20 videos on how dragons 100% existed, and they're petrified all over this earth. We walk on their remains. Here's one all in red in the west coast of the United States. It's even called the Black Dragon Reservoir, where its mouth is, and you can see this is its jaw. Here's teeth, its entire jawline, molars. there's its eye. This whole thing is its head. There's petrified dragons everywhere, dead ones. And when I made this video talking about this petrified dragon from 2 years ago, I was under the assumption that they were all dead. But some things have made me wonder, if I'm being honest. And a lot of these things have been brought to my attention by this creator on the TT platform. Go give him a follow and check out what he has to say. But I want to give you some of my thoughts based on some of his. Now, he does a lot of content on how these serpents are still alive, just dormant. And not only is there one down there, but one right up here, right by something in the news recently. Now, when I first came across this theory that there was a chance they were alive, I didn't take it too seriously, but I am to the point in my life where I don't disregard anything. And you can see how this creature looks very similar to how an alligator might breathe. And when I heard Deda's Universe talking about the hurricane patterns, hurricanes that just frequent this area and could be caused by this beast trying to suck in to feed. But it wasn't that opened my mind even more. No, it was actually when he talked about the 1,000,000-ton monster algae that's poisoning everything from Africa to America. Because I live in Florida, and there's red tide that seems to appear out of nowhere and is very toxic. It hurts my lungs to breathe in when I'm at the beach and there's red tide. And I couldn't help but what they called that red tide and the remnants of it. Sargasm. SAR, which could mean suspicious activity report. And well, do you know any other word that sounds like gasm, maybe with an O at the beginning of it, and that is a release of fluids? So maybe not only is he sucking in and feeding, or she, maybe she's also regurgitating, sargasm. And you would notice where that would come out right here. And did you see the wave and wind pattern? That's right. And here's where all that red tide, which is super toxic, acidic, almost like vomit would be. I also found this extremely interesting. He says this serpent comes through here, comes up through California, where its belly would be, and it actually bulges out. But I found this very interesting. Anchorage, Alaska is right here, where he pointed out Anchorage, where he could be anchored down. And this is the Bering Sea. And Bering reminds me of children bearing. Now, his theory is that all this activity in Venezuela is because this thing is waking up and they're going to bomb it to try to sedate it. He's also pointed out the name of the Nagasaki bomb. And Naga just happens to be a divine serpent-like being. Now, I'm not going to lie. I have extremely mixed thoughts on this. One, I know that giant monstrosities of animals existed here. Dragons, all sorts of really wild creatures. Here's that dragon in the West Coast. There's even a petrified dragon down here in the southeast. But to think there might still be some of them living, it's hard to wrap your head around, but I don't totally discount it. But there's a few reasons why I think it's true and why I might not think it's true. Now, this red tide poisonous algae stuff really got me thinking that there's a chance it was alive. However, this is Mount Rainier in Washington, and I've done a video on how volcanoes and the lava that comes out of them is remnants of dragon. It's probably their insides that could allow them to breathe fire. I know that sounds crazy, but if a bombardier beetle can create liquid hot acid by combining two sacks of fluid that it has, well, so could a dragon. And the insides of dragons are what causes volcanoes. That's literally a dragon's face, and that's a volcano. So maybe that dead, petrified serpent is still just leaking out some of that ancient material. Or maybe it is sargasming. And this, well, maybe it is breathing. But when you take a closer look, these aren't air holes or anything that anything could breathe out of. They're literally islands. solid rock islands. And not only that, but there's a literal petrified ancient dog creature, some sort of dragon, petrified on it. And when you scroll up to this other one near Venezuela, where it would be breathing, those are again islands, one of them being St. Lucia. Now here's some petrified rock at St. Lucia. And you know what I think that is? Well, here's an alligator's snout. And do you see those spikes up there? I'm just saying. That doesn't look like anything that's coming back to life to me. But then I do come back to this 1587 map, where it sure looks connected to me. And like I said, I did this video 2 years ago, so it's at least been disconnected that long. Now, I might not have a final verdict on this, but I do have some final thoughts. And that is whether this thing is dead and petrified or gonna come back to life and wreak havoc on the world we know, it doesn't matter. The end goal is to have no fear, because fear is the enemy's #1 tool. And if you give in to fear, and you live in fear, and you act out of fear, well, then you've lost. Maybe we're just here being tested to see which side of things you choose, and maybe this is our final reckoning. Because after all, Revelation 13:3 of the Bible describes one of the heads of a beast receiving a seemingly fatal head wound, which is then miraculously healed, causing the entire world to marvel and follow that beast in worship and allegiance. Now, I always thought that referred to someone that got an ear wound, but maybe, just maybe, it's talking about another beast, another Bible verse to think about. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of
Jamaica, the message of life and death. So you better listen carefully. The Jamaican government has once again sold us all out, but this time it is our life they are playing with. They have signed contracts with foreign oil companies to start deep sea oil drilling off our coast, specifically the Pedro Bank area, just southwest of Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. And guess what's underneath where they are going to be drilling? A tectonic time bomb. You see Pedro Bank? It sits right next to Enrique Plantain Garden Fault Zone. It's a major fault line that runs from Jamaica straight to Haiti. Yes, Enrique Plantain Garden Fault Zone. It's the same one that caused the 2010 earthquake in Haiti that unalived over 200,000 people. No, Philly government has sold us out to foreign company and gave them the go-ahead to start drilling into it. Deep sea drilling is not just about poking a hole in a Jamaica. It shakes the seabed. It builds pressure. It causes subsea fractures. And when those fractures snap near a fault line, it triggers a massive earthquake. And with that earthquake, that massive earthquake, comes a tsunami. We're talking about places that's going to be underwater, wiped off the planet, covered in Jamaica, like Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Portmore, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Thomas. Una listening to me? You are on the coast. You will be the first set of people to drown. A tsunami from Pedro Bank could hit the coastline in less than 15 minutes. There will be no warning, no time to run, no time to save your children. Just water, death, gone. But that's not all, Jamaica. No, that's not all. You see, underwater, there are 2 underwater volcanoes south of Jamaica. Them call them Jenny and Lenny. You ever hear about them? You should have. If this drilling triggers deep seismic activity, Jenny and Lenny would erupt. You don't have any idea what that means, Phoebe? It means steam blast, gas clouds, earthquakes, and a volcanic tsunami, that's the entire Caribbean at risk, not just Jamaica. So what make we government do this? And why them do this to we? For money, but not for food no money. The oil contracts are being handed to foreign companies. Yes, foreign energy companies, including Chinese and Canadian corporations, with private deals and hidden clauses. The Jamaican people won't even own the oil. We'll just die on top of it. They plan to extract billions and give you pollution, poverty, and death. This is not development, Jamaica. This is eradication. When you don't believe me, guess what will happen after the disaster, after they unalive hundreds and thousands? They're going to blame nature and say it's an act of God. Meanwhile, the foreign companies will move in, ready to rebuild smart cities, sell off the rest of the land them, and take full control of Jamaica's future. And the poor will have no land, no home, no voice, and no compensation. Members said they never asked about this island and they're not even telling about it. They didn't even do a proper environmental review. They did not tell you the risk or anything. Why? Because they know once you understand what's at stake, you'll burn down them plan to the ground. Listen to me, Jamaica. If we allow drilling, Jamaica will become the next Haiti, the next Fukushima, the next underwater graveyard. This is not a conspiracy. This is pure science. This is fact, and this is a damn betrayal. So I'm telling you now, Jamaica, we better stand up, organize, march, call every ministry and make them burn up every contract. Ring the alarm, because the moment the drill pierces the seabed, it's not just oil that's going to rise. It's going to be death. Jamaica, Caribbean, diaspora, this is the last warning. Stop the drill or we'll dig the graves.
Hi guys, welcome back once again. I really hope you've watched the full clip, and there is something unsettled happening in Jamaica and people are starting to ask questions. In recent times, the island has faced a series of natural events, strong hurricanes, unexpected flooding, even earthquakes on their own. Each of these can be explained, but together and happening more frequently, it begins to feel like more than coincidence. And that's where the conversation takes a mysterious turn, because some are now connecting this event to something ancient, something mentioned in biblical text, the creature known as Levithian dragon. In the books of Isaiah, Psalms, and Job, Levithian is described as a powerful sea being, a symbol of chaos, something beyond human control. For centuries, many have interpreted it as a symbolic, representing disorder, danger, or the untamable force of nature. But today, in light of what's happening, some are asking a different question. What if those descriptions weren't just symbolic? What if they were warnings? Now let's be clear, there's no scientific evidence of a literal creature rising from the ocean. Scientists explain hurricanes as climate system, earthquake as tectonic movement, and flooding as environmental factor. But here is where it gets interesting. Even if Leviathan isn't physical creature, the idea behind it still holds power, because what those ancient texts described, chaos rising from the sea, forces humans cannot control, sound very similar to what we experience today through natural disaster. So the real question becomes, are we witnessing prophecy, or are we seeing nature behaving exactly as it always has, just in ways that feels more intense and closer to home? For many people, especially those who believe in biblical prophecy, moments like this feel significant. They see patterns, they feel urgency, they feel connect what's written in scripture to what's happening in real life. Other texts are different view. They argue that climate change, environmental damage, and natural cycle are enough to explain everything we are seeing. No mystery, no prophecy, just cause and effect. And that's where the tension lies. Two ways of seeing the same event. and one sees warning signs from ancient texts, the other sees the consequences of modern action. But regardless of where you stand, one thing is undeniable: something is changing. The frequency, the intensity, the impact, and whether you call it nature, prophecy, or coincidence, it's getting people's attention. So maybe the real question isn't whether Levithian is awakening. Maybe the real question is, why do this moment make us feel like something bigger is happening? It's fear, it's a belief, or is it a reminder that no matter how advanced we become, there are still forces in the world far beyond our control? And as this event continues to unfold, more people will keep asking, are we just watching nature, or are we witnessing something we don't fully understand yet? We have all seen here, the people are saying that maybe the prophecy of the Bible, maybe it's coming true, because of late we have all seen how Jamaica recently went through a lot of natural calamities: the flooding, the earthquake, the Hurricane Melissa, of which, if you look into these things biblically, it's not normal but abnormal. And it seems like maybe the Jamaican people are maybe facing through, or they are going through God's judgment. And it's really high time people are saying that Jamaican people need to remit, because we all know Jamaica, when it's come to faith, they don't joke with God. Jamaicans are known as to be so faithful. They have known us to be so prayerful, and a lot of people are really asking, is this thing coming back? Because maybe the biblical prophecy is being fulfilled, because we all know Jamaican people right now, a lot of people are really saying that we need to repent. We really to repent our sins, simply because these things that are really happening, it's not normal. If you look at into it biblically, it's not normal but kind of abnormal. And it's really high time Jamaican, they organize events like maybe those that they were organizing, a prayer day event, to pray for the nation of Jamaica, to pray for the people, to cleanse their sins, so that at least maybe God can bless these people and not punish them. Because high time, maybe we are meeting end times, and a lot of Jamaican people, they are at tension, because these things that are really happening, they are causing a lot of property to be distracted. A lot of people are being unalived. A lot of people are really losing their lives. Properties are being distraction. We have all seen how Hurricane Melissa did to the people. A lot of people really lost their life. A lot of people, their property were being misused and distracted. And this is the reason why we are telling Jamaican people to pray, so that at least God can remember them. So guys, I humbly request, if this was the first time I come across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Thanks so much for your time. Be blessed whenever you are. One love. May God bless you.